It's time to do some damage control. So I have some BT here. It's an organic pest control. And I have water. This is a quart of water. I have my syringe. We're going to mix some BT into this water. And this is filtered water. I do not use tap water because our tap water is not the best. Gotta mix it kind of strong here. It's about a half a teaspoon to this quart jar. Then we're gonna stir it up. That's kind of more than I need, but I didn't have a smaller jar at the moment. And who knows, I might have to come and refill my syringe a couple of times. So I'm just gonna fill up our syringe. All right, now we're ready to do some damage control. Hey everybody, this is Jen. Welcome to the homestead and welcome to my channel. So that's right, we have some damage control to do and I will show you why. If you remember in a video, I don't know if it was the last video or a couple videos ago, I was talking about how I was planting borage to help keep the squash vine borer and the squash beetle away from my squash plants, as that seems to be an old wives' tale or a gardener's trick, as you will, of keeping those stupid pests away from your plants, because you know that once they get in there they can easily devastate your crops. Well, we've got some damage control to do, so follow me along right here on Garden Jen's Journey. Okay, so the plan did work to a point. It really did help slow down those pests coming into the garden and how much damage they have been doing before the plants could really get up and going. So I'm going to show you what my plants look like, the damage that's going on, and how we're going to stop that in its tracks. We got a beautiful gardener snake here in the grass I just startled. I can get to move a little bit, you can see it. There he goes. Right into the garden where we need him to go. Okay, so this is a harvest I got from these plants today. I've been getting a harvest about every week for the last 4 weeks. And it's been looking kind of like this. I have, I think, 10 plants total. I have like 6 of these guys and 2 of the round zucchini, and I will show you that as we go into the garden space. But I want to show you what the plants are looking like right now. So you can see we've got some lovely looking plants. I mean, this is beautifully nice and green. This, Then you got some more. You can see where it's starting to yellow and not look the greatest. And then my potatoes, they're starting to tie back. I did get some potatoes. But you can see that they're big, lush plants. They're doing pretty good for the most part. And I don't know if you can see the borage that I have planted around it. There's some right there. Some bees are enjoying that. But you can start to see we've got some damage going on here. And this is telltale squash bug damage. They start killing the plants like that. So that's a telltale sign you've got squash bug damage, that bottom portion there. The top is more like sunburn. So these plants got sunburned at first, and then of course because they're stressed, the squash beetles came in and are like, ooh, easy target. But the plant has been fighting them off for the most part. Like I said, you can see that it's beautiful and lush, and they're doing pretty good. But let me take you to where I noticed we have squash vine borer damage. Alright, this plant looks pretty good at the moment. But if you take a closer look, we have an issue here. You see the stem in here? It's not looking good at all. And look, there's some squash beetles right here getting it on. Naughty beetles. We'll deal with them in a minute. But you see this mess here. This nastiness. This is from the squash vine borer. And there's a spot here where the stem broke right there. I don't know if you can see. Kind of like a sawdust material around it. And then, you know, some of these leaves here, or stems, are dying. So this is from the squash vine borer. The squash vine borer, it gets in here, lays its egg. It bores in here, lays its egg, and then the larvae actually grows in these tubes here, because these are vascular systems. They're tubes, and so the vine borer will grow in these things. It gets huge and it's disgusting. I'm not going to cut this open because I don't want to get grossed out, and I don't want to gross you guys out. But a lot of people, they'll just cut this open here, like make an incision, find the stupid larva, the worm, the grub, whatever you want to call it, in here, take it out, and then duct tape it or whatever. And that's what some people do, but I don't want to risk damaging the plant more. So we're going to use this. This is BT. Again, you saw me make it. And we're going to actually inject this in different spots here, because the larva is probably right here growing. Judging by where the damage is, it cuts off the circulation, so to speak, to the rest of the vines here, or branches. So I'm not going to be able to show you me injecting it really, because it takes 2 hands to do this, I think. But we're going to try, so give me a minute. Alright, so I believe that this is a 16, if not a 20 gauge needle. Probably a, yes, no. Probably a 14 to 12 gauge needle. I forgot. The smaller, or the smaller the number, the larger the needle. So you need something that's pretty large to get in here. So we're just going to stick it in here. And it's kind of like mush down here. We're just going to push some in there. Stick it in here. And if you got some resistance, that's good. That means it's not completely mush. Let's stick it in there. Let's stick it down here. It's probably down here too, because it's dying right here. Now this could have quite a few larvae in it. And of course, and you can see how there's like nothing left right there. We're just going to spray that area with this stuff, and it will kill that squash vine borer larvae. And then later on, I'm going to just spray some right here just for good measure. Later on, I'm going to come back through with some neem oil, and we'll spray the plant with neem oil and probably dust it with a little DE. Not sure though if I can do the DE, because I think it's going to rain, and that's not very effective when it gets wet. But anyways, that's how I use the BT. I inject it right into the stalk, and I'll do that probably in another 3 days, and just to make sure that, you know, we're taking care of the issue. I'm going to go over here. Forgot about this spot here. And there's another squash beetle. But yeah, if you get a hold of it before your plant dies, you might have a chance of saving the plant. So I'll keep you guys updated on this plant. This is one of our other plants. You can start to see the sawdust stuff right here around the stem. It's not as bad as the other one we are just at. So again, we're just going to inject the stalk here with some of this BT. And let it kill that grub that's in there. All right, so here's some of my round zucchini. I'm not sure why this one is a yellow color, but most of them are green. I'll see if I can find a green one. There's a green one right there. All right, so this is my birdhouse gourd. So I got quite the birdhouse there. I do have a squash beetle. Don't know if you can see it. There it is. Squash beetle. There. No, sorry, that's a Japanese beetle. But this plant's done pretty good. You can see, pretty healthy. I haven't had much problems with this one. Or this one, really. I've been keeping an eye. But you see, we do have some dead leaves going on, but that's actually on the borage, not on my squash. So this plant is doing pretty good. The borage seems to be working. Just look at the size of that gourd. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so that's what my squash plants are looking like currently. I've only showed you a few, but that's basically generally how the garden looks. I have some that are doing just fine and others that are falling under attack, but not as bad as what I usually deal with had I not planted the borage. So I do believe that the borage is key to trying to control your infestations, but that doesn't mean that it's 100% guarantee that you will not have the squash vine borer or the squash beetle. Both of them very gross bugs that kill your plants. So it is what it is. Be prepared to battle those bugs, even if you plant borage. Now that's quite a few B's in that sentence. Anyways, I hope that you liked this walk through the garden today. This quick little video on how I'm battling the bugs, so to speak, how it's going, and what I'm looking forward to. So thank you for being with me today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might be battling these same bugs. Almost everybody does. Until next time, everybody, I hope wherever you are, you're wonderfully blessed. Bye-bye.